Misinformation and disinformation is a very big problem, especially currently because we are in an infodemic era. So you're getting a lot of misinformation and disinformation on agricultural innovations is being spread very fast and to very many people, and controlling it is becoming very hard. So you need people to be able to identify misinformation and disinformation in various media, and also stop it at its tracks before sharing it with other people. So we've done this training in Murang'a County, and now we came to Kisumu County to also enable the research officers within the county to be able to know about agricultural innovations and biotechnology, and also for them to learn skills on how to identify misinformation and disinformation, and also how can they help in this fight against misinformation and disinformation.
When I came to the workshop, I felt I had an opportunity to get to know the truth about GMO. Because of many myths circulating around, I felt that this was a perfect opportunity to clarify whether those are myths or they are the true facts about GMO. And my expectation has been met.
Some of the things I've picked from this workshop is that it is important to ascertain the source of information so that it's coming from credible sources, so that there is no misinformation or disinformation to the public. And then another thing I've also picked is that most media tend to have a lot of tabloid journalism out there, a lot of sensational topic which do not really represent the actual context of the subject of discussion.
I've learned a lot. I think I enjoyed the session on the National Biosafety Guidelines, and I am glad that we have guidelines to protect our genetic resources, and that guides research work on biotechnology, and especially on issues to do with the biotechnology products. So that was a nice thing that stood out for me. But what was more of concern is that we are still not aggressive in protecting our genetic resources. I was also happy to understand how to verify information that we get. Not all of it may be true. Sometimes it may be spoken from the political class, but devoid of the solid facts. And that information, everyone has an agenda when they pass information, and in today's world it's mostly to gain the attention of the masses and to gain popularity. So in order to ensure that I am well equipped, I should look into the facts and the sources, and even verify this information scientifically.
GMO is not cancerous. It is not poisonous. We have been told in the past through other media that GMO, for example, specifically GMO food, is not good for human consumption. So I've got to know what a GMO food is. It is just an improved version of a natural food, and then it has several advantages. The other thing I've learned from this workshop is that there is the National Biosafety Authority, which is in charge of biotechnology and other related issues. Another thing I've learned in this workshop is that there is a difference between misconception and misinformation and disinformation. And many a times when we discuss matters GMO, the most issues that normally bring GMO into focus, I've learned, are disinformation and not just misinformation.
What really stood out for me is that the participants when we started had no idea what biotechnology and biosafety was, and also they were not aware of how different emotions can make them react, even with their background in agriculture or science, and even the knowledge that they have. They did not realize how big an impact media that they consume can affect how they make decisions. So even throughout the training, seeing them interact and seeing them actually speaking up about what they know, you could see them identify different biases, and also you could see their increase in awareness on biotechnology and biosafety. And this is very good because now they are more aware and they are more keen about it. And even in terms of, given that they're the source of information and given that the public would come to the county to give them information, it's very good to see that most of them are picking that up. And even as they become champions for the next and the next generation. So it was very good to see that growth throughout the training.
We are coming out of this place with a lot of knowledge, and we are looking forward to also sensitizing the rest of the public and even our colleagues and experts. I try to inform them on the actual facts about GMO and why it is important for us to embrace it. We know that this has a lot of has been instrumental, especially in agriculture, where we have GMO BT cotton, which is something that I think for us here as Kisumu, we think we need to turn around this and make use of BT cotton, grow it so that we can actually reopen up our Kikomi textile industry that was there before.
When I go back to my workplace, I will look and handle GMO issues now differently. I have the knowledge, I have the capacity. I can discern myths from realities and facts. And I will, in my own ways, backed by the departmental work plan, that we hold some stakeholder meetings to sensitize the community, the public, on GMO issues.
You know, this notion that all we have in the market is GMO. So I can be able to tell a layman in simple terms the difference between a GMO and a non-GMO, because as it is, especially in the grassroots, the word GMO just causes your nerves to scare. It's it's an animal, you know, so I wouldn't necessarily use that big term, but I would try to demystify it and try to make them understand the different, that biotechnology is quite a wide subject, and there are different ways it brings forth products, and so not everything is genetically modified. And again, they should also know that these are not forced on us, because there's the notion also that, you know, the West is trying to use our governments to impose their will. And so to make them understand, especially how we got here and why we are here, and also to make them appreciate why are we developing and others are called developed countries. It's also to do with matters concerning technology. So that's one I would advocate for.
So one of the things that really came up from this training is the need to actually see some of the things that we're telling them. So yes, they've been able to learn about how to discern misinformation and disinformation, but one of the other things that really came up is that can you differentiate a GMO from a non-GMO? So the next step would actually be for them to actually see this crop like BT cotton that is on a farm, for them to be able to interact and hear stories from farmers, so that even for them they can tie what they've learned to an actual setting, and seeing a farmer do this would be very nice. And also the other thing is just trying to also track them and learn, okay, so are you practicing? Have you been able to practice? Is very, very important. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this training and also with other various engagements we can see the growth and see the difference that learning on how to sense misinformation can be beneficial even at the county level.